Hello everyone and welcome to today's video, brought to you by RabbitCareTips.com. As the title suggests, today we'll be exploring the topic of how long rabbits can be left alone. More specifically, left alone to fend for themselves. It must first be stated that rabbits are not a big fan of being alone, especially if we're talking about one rabbit all alone within an enclosure, whether that be indoors or outdoors. Let's take a look at this piece of important information. If you have two or more rabbits, they will likely be happy and contented for approximately 24 hours. If you only have one rabbit, she'll start to become distressed in less than 12 hours. It should be noted that proper accommodations can go a long way, so can a rabbit's personality. Some rabbits are just fussier than others. So much of what a rabbit will accept in terms of being left alone has everything to do with how they relate to their surroundings. So, let's break it all down. In today's material, we'll not only talk about a time window, but the essentials you should provide your rabbit before you leave. While we'll mostly be speaking about rabbits that are outdoors in a hutch, the general accommodations such as food and drink will not differ by a stark degree compared to that of rabbits that are indoors. Before we kick things off in full, we'd like to take a moment to thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your time and thank you for your support. Much appreciated. Now, let's get started. In general terms, and we're frankly speaking about a time frame without worry, the answer is probably a standard workday, some 7 to 8 hours. As it relates to care, you won't have to do too much, as all of your rabbit's wants and needs should be available to sustain that period of time. If you have more than one rabbit and all essentials are available to your furry pals, then all you really have to do is simply walk out the door. As noted in our introduction, this only becomes concerning if you're planning to be away for 12 plus hours. 24 hours or more, and specific accommodations, and perhaps even some security measures will have to be in place. The last thing you want is for an anxious rabbit to break out of its outdoor hutch and leave your property. In most cases, forms of stress, anxiety, fear, aggression, and depression can develop if rabbits are left alone beyond a responsible time frame. Any and all of these behaviors can prove negative, not only to your rabbit, but also to you, depending on the end result. Think of a small child. The longer you leave a child all alone, the greater the odds become of something unfortunate taking place. It's wise to adopt that mindset when thinking of your pet. While several specific questions are likely on the table, such as is it safe for a rabbit to be alone overnight? Is it safe for a rabbit to be alone for a weekend? Is it safe to take a week-long vacation, etc.? It's wise not to get caught up in all of those specifics, because as we've noted, it's really all about the 12s and those 24s. 24 hours for more than one rabbit, and no more than 12 hours for a single rabbit. Just remember those time brackets. That's all that really matters when it comes to preparing to leave your rabbits, and the necessary measures that you will need to take. Now that you understand the do's and don'ts when it comes to a proper time frame, it's critical to prepare your rabbit's living area accordingly. This is the most important section of this material. If you plan on being away for more than a typical workday window, certainly more than 12 or 24 plus, one of the first things to consider is companionship. Even if you have multiple rabbits, your pets might need something that reminds them of you. Consider leaving something behind that smells like you. This is a subtle yet significant way to keep your rabbit or rabbits' anxiety level in check. Additionally, offer up some real company and attention if possible. If you're going away for multiple days, simply have a friend or family member check on your pets. If you've prepared accordingly, the third party won't have to do a thing aside for some basic task. Just pay a quick visit just to make sure the ship is sailing in a smooth fashion. The next form of prep involves exercise. Make sure your rabbits are still able to move around in a healthy and safe fashion while you're away. Exercise is vital. Do your rabbits have a safety style playpen? If so, make sure it's available to your furry friends while you're gone. The ability to run and play while doing so in a safe fashion is vital if you're planning on being away for an extended period of time. If a caregiver is stopping by, you can discuss the option with this third party helper to potentially aid in the exercise portion that your rabbits need each and every day. The next important box to check is that of safety in every aspect, especially if your rabbits reside in an outdoor hutch. Your pet must be shielded from predators. While there are numerous ways that you can achieve proper safety measures, one possibility is a move to the indoors. If accommodations can be made with the help of the caregiver, place your pet inside. This will not only protect your rabbit from potential harm outdoors, but it will also provide the animal with some peace and quiet. This will ease your rabbit while also giving you some peace of mind, one less thing to worry about. You know your living space, your rabbit's current living space, and your general accommodations. It's paramount that you make sure that your rabbit is safe and secure before you leave. You knew we'd eventually get around to this one because it is oh so critical. Food and water. There can never be enough. Fresh water, fresh hay, and multiple feeding stations. This is also another area where a caregiver can enter the fold if you plan on being gone multiple days. Rabbits need fresh water daily. The same applies to fresh hay. While it won't take more than a couple of minutes to restock, the introduction of freshness is very important. In respect to multiple serving stations, this is key in case something happens to the primary station. Let's say a water outlet breaks or turns over, what have you. Then your rabbit will be out of luck. We certainly can't let that happen. Supplying your pet with multiple outlets is key. Same goes for fresh hay. Selecting the right foods is also very important, especially if a caregiver is in charge. Make sure that individual understands your rabbit's diet. A solid diet of lettuce and carrots can be dangerous if given in bulk. Inappropriate feeding is just as dangerous as no feeding at all. The final aspect of care as it relates to your rabbit being left alone for a lengthy period of time is cleanliness. It's vital that a rabbit is clean. They are naturally clean animals, especially that bottom area. We noted stress and anxiety potentially manifesting as a side effect to your absence. Such emotions can cause your pet to neglect basic hygiene. If a caretaker has accepted full responsibility, then some form of grooming assistance could be in order. This could involve cleaning a messy behind. Not the most pleasant of topics, but obviously quite important. Maintaining cleanliness within the hutch is also key. After several days, your pet's living space can become messy. Old food and dirty litter trays will need to be removed in a timely fashion by a caregiver. Before we conclude this video, it's important to take stock and realize the great undertaking that can be involved when leaving a rabbit alone for multiple days. Again, those 12 to 24-hour windows are so important for many reasons. The average workday, not so much of a big deal. However, once we start talking about weekend trips and extended stays, the greater the responsibility becomes and the greater need for an experienced caregiver. And on that note, that will conclude things for the video portion of this subject matter, but we still have so much more to offer you. We invite you to head on over to rabbitcaretips.com at the conclusion of this piece. There you will find a full-length and highly in-depth article discussing this very topic. Whether you're considering leaving your rabbits alone for a lengthy period of time due to business, pleasure, or perhaps you're simply preparing just in case you have to be away due to an unforeseen emergency, our talented writers and experts at rabbitcaretips.com have prepared an important article just for you. We hope you check it out. Are you watching us off-site? If so, please click the initial link in the description box below. Said link will take you to all of the goods. And until our paths cross again, and I certainly hope they do, we'd like to thank you once again for joining us today. Please have a wonderful day. All the best to you and yours, and we will talk to you later.